Hi, I'm Cody Green, and in this video I'll describe the current home field advantages in the NFL and as well as make future predictions for the upcoming 2020 football season. This is part of an assignment completed for Data 620 Summer 2020 with Professor Kerry Beam at UMGC. As sports fans, we always hear about it, but is home field advantage still a thing? Short answer is yes. I will forecast and make predictions for the 2020 football season using data from the previous 11 NFL seasons to create multiple time series graphs. The data is broken up by NFL season. Each season has 16 weeks plus playoffs. There are a total of 32 teams, with each team getting a bye week, equaling the 267 total games played per season. In this first graph, we will look at the home winning percentage versus the away winning percentage. The home winning percentage is represented by the orange line, and as you can see throughout each period, it is significantly higher than the away winning percentage, which is represented by the blue line. On average, the home team wins 57.28% of the time, with the away team only winning 42.43% of the time. When we get into these shaded areas, this shows the confidence bands for our forecast, in which 2020, the forecast home winning percentage is 56.27. I have confidence in this prediction because there hasn't been a drastic decline or increase in home field winning percentage since 2009. The confidence intervals cover the amount of increase that's possible. In this next graph, we'll see the point differential. A positive point differential means the home team scores more points on average than the away team. And this has been true since 2009 to 2019. The blue line again represents the home winning percentage that was displayed in the previous graph. Let's start by looking at 2009 to 2010. We can see the point differential is 2.40 and it drops to 1.60. It is important to note as the point differential dropped, the home winning percentage dropped in the same period, and when it increased the next period, it also increased. With the exception of a few years such as 2012, for the most part, the home winning percentage and point differential trend in the same direction. The estimate point differential for 2020 is 2.46. I have confidence in this prediction because if you look during every period there's a decline, the following period there's an increase in point differential, and this is true for every year you can see on the graph. This next graph is talks about the total yards broken down in between passing and rushing. First, we'll look at the total yard graph. You can see the home yards, average yards per game are represented by the gray line, and the away average yards per game are represented by the red line. And the home field advantage again takes effect and has an advantage. While sometimes it seems close, football is commonly referred to as the game of inches. For example, in Super Bowl 49, the Seattle Seahawks lost the game because they weren't able to score from the 1 yard line on the final drive of the Super Bowl. So 1 yard decided the Super Bowl. And then the next two graphs break down the total yards by passing yards and rushing yards, with the forecast as being pretty consistent to what we've seen since 2009. This next graph represents or uses a polynomial line, as you see here, to determine the trends for penalties each season. Due to the average amount of penalties fluctuating up and down, a polynomial trend line was required for this. For the most part, the home and away penalties trend in the same direction, with home averaging less penalties at 6.28 compared to 6.56 or 586, which is understandable when you got 40,000 fans screaming at you. It's kind of hard to communicate, and you causes penalties. This last graph shows the toughest place to play. The Patriots, they say from numbers, it shows that they are the toughest place to play. Is this necessarily true? I don't agree, and a lot of NFL fans don't agree. For example, Seattle Seahawks, their fans are known as the 12th man. During a 2005 playoff game, they registered a 137 decibel rating. And to put that in perspective, a 137 decibel rating is louder than a Boeing 747 engine. So you can imagine how hard it is to play there. There are many elements when considering home field advantage, such as crowd, weather, altitude, stadium structures, and gameplay advantages. In conclusion, we have learned home field advantage always exists and will continue to exist in 2020. My data was collected from teamrankings.com and Reddit. Thank you for listening to my presentation.